Hi, I'm Josie. If you clicked on this video, you're probably interested in how I am doing after having had a posterior repair 1 month ago. So it's been 1 month and 1 day. And yeah, a posterior repair, no sling. No sling. There's some procedures that use sling. It's like a tissue and they like tack it up. I don't know, but that has a high mine is no sling. So they remove tissue and they just stitch the heck out of everything. Picture this. This is your belly. This is your back, right? If you're looking into this, my guess is you know like a diagram of rectocele. I'm not gonna put that in here. You can look it up in another tab. Back of the birth canal, back of the birth canal, front of the rectum. There's a whole bunch of stitches here and then here. So yeah, if I break this up between the first half and the second half of this, first half was a lot of initial like swelling and more dull pain that was just very uncomfortable, maybe slight like burning pain every now and then that came in waves, but pretty much once week 2 happened, as long as I wasn't just walking everywhere. Now my mental health does not like sitting still, but as long as I wasn't like walking everywhere, wouldn't be too bad. But it definitely would be kind of stingy, itchy. But ever since week 3, it has become especially irritating to deal with the stitches. So I have gotten lidocaine spray and it works great to help. If they're very irritated, sometimes just even spraying makes things feel a little bit burny for about like 1 to 5 minutes. But then it's good. It's taken care of. Now, I don't use lidocaine spray to take advantage of it so I can push myself, because obviously if things are being irritated and itchy, then I need to rest, but to at least get the discomfort. So like, let's say I want to go to bed, right? Or even just me coming in here after getting my kids ready for bed and stuff and spending some time with myself. Like, that's the time where I would use the spray so that I can get comfortable so I can rest, but not to use it to then go on a walk. But it's been the stitches, and more pieces of stitches are coming out. But what kind of stinks is if I'm having better bowel movements, I'm definitely like itchy all over the place. And the other crazy thing is it feels a little bit more like pressure and spasms when that happens too. But yeah, so I have had that pelvic exam at the 2-week mark. But even now that things have like stopped swelling, if I kind of hold it open to take a picture, if that makes sense, or if I go to take a picture, I can see in the picture like the ends of a lot of stitches. And I have kept track of some photos, and they're breaking off. Like, there's so many pieces that are falling off on the outside, but there's one cluster in particular, like basically at the opening of where babies come out of. There's a cluster and it pinches all the time. And I was worried at one point if something was wrong with that area, but I think it's just because it's kind of like a corner point. It's just very susceptible. So I don't even really use my donut pillow anymore. I like to sit on my side on the hips. So like with this, if you see, this is how I'm sitting. Like, this hip is up and the other is down. So all this pressure is going on my hip, and there's no chance of me sitting evenly. And anything where my legs, my cheeks, like anything where my buttocks get kind of separated, I feel like it tugs and pulls on things in a way that's acutely painful. So the stitches are still definitely doing their thing. And yeah, but even when I get like spasms in that area, like muscle spasms, it's not to a degree where I really feel like I need any kind of over-the-counter pain medication anymore. It's very bearable, and it's more like a discomfort at this rate. Not exactly like owie painful. Like, I'm not gonna be like, ow. It's just kind of like, well, I don't know about that, but I know it's a sign that I need to rest now. So that's kind of how 1 month post-op is going. I'm looking forward to being able to do more walks. I haven't really tried doing a walk, but I have found that I'm spasming a lot less around the house just by kind of doing my own thing. So I have like a project I'm working on, building a triple bunk and sanding stuff and moving wood, being very, very careful. Like everything's like set up so I could do it. Um Moving piece by piece at a time, which means a lot of walking, but it's not, I'm not getting spasms from that. But I will have issues if, because I have 3 little kids, I mentioned like at least in other videos, I don't remember if I did it in the beginning of this one. They're the reason I have had the issue to need to seek surgery. But if I move too quickly, like I sprint to a crying child, then I'll have issues. So whatever the movement is when your legs are running, when they're going whatever, like that, I'm so tired. I need to go to bed, but I want to at least do a little bit of an arm workout. But that motion will really do me in. But yeah, the nature of this, I wish I could do more of these videos first thing in the morning my time. That's why I'm more bright-eyed at this point. I'm kind of drained, so I usually do feel a little bit more crummy by the end of the day. But I got 3 kids, and as far as like recording these, like with these, I would like it to be quiet. I think this format works. But I guess one last thing, since we're all grown-ups here, I set my videos a certain way so that you don't have to be signed in to see them. But my target audience is obviously adults and quite likely, older adults. But after I get cleared for certain things, I will have a video addressing a lot of other issues where you would need to be signed in. I think some very important ones. But as far as this video goes, all I will say is that, you know how it feels as the blood gets flowing and goes to certain areas if you are turned on or aroused. So when I have been kissing my husband and stuff, all exterior, like even just the blood flowing anywhere between week 2 and 3, it was uncomfortable. Like I could feel myself starting to hurt, and so it was like, okay, then I just didn't even want to kiss him. And now if I kiss him and I feel the heat, it doesn't hurt. So I'm happy that I can, have a makeout sesh with my husband now. So that I'm that's a very positive thing. But yeah, so to go any further than that, one, I need to be cleared for certain things, but two, you would need to be signed in to see that if you are coming across this playlist after the fact, and that's something you want to know about. One final thing is also that in regards to discharge, it is a lot less even from just 3 days ago. Now, I don't know if that's like a fluke, but like consistently the past few days, it's just been way less. And I appreciate that because I personally like to feel like, I personally like the idea of being able to breathe like when I'm going to bed. So to just be able to go commando in my pajamas and my nightgown, as well as if I'm just wearing like sweatpants around the house. As I said, it's still irritating to have stuff brushing against the tissue. So if I can avoid like having like underwear, pads, liners on, anything that's loose and just lets it air out, like that is much more comfortable. Anyway, thank you if you made it to the end. I hope that was informative, not in an education way, but just kind of like if you are looking into the surgery or you are also recovering, that you, one, don't feel so alone or so embarrassed. I'm being vulnerable out here because I wanted to find this information and I wanted to find it in video format. So best of luck with your journey. If you're going through this, my heart goes out to you. I hope that this was informative, not in terms of like education, but just if you're trying to seek this information out, that you feel like you were able to glean something from it, whether that be comfort or even just questions to then ask your physician or ask yourself. But yeah, I respond to comments as long as they're tasteful, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye.